In today's Warcrow topic, we are going to be talking about the Needle, who is a character unit that is part of the Scions of Yaldabaoth faction in Warcrow. So like most of the elves in the Scions, the Needle is a dark-minded elf, meaning for all intents and purposes, they're okay with pushing the bounds of magic, kind of tipping into that realm of forbidden magic and tinge and kind of some more spookier things when it comes to the arcane. They are well-versed experts of typical anatomy and body modification, although they themselves don't have the same magical abilities like the progenitors do within each of the kind of family sects of scions. So a needle typically begins its kind of rise to becoming a needle by assisting the progenitor. They are assistants to the progenitor, and they help with cleaning up the progenitor's different equipment, as well as preparing and cleaning up bodies and really whatever experiment and project, piece of art that the progenitor is working with. So in the Intact video, we talked about kind of how the Intact are responsible for kind of getting people into the scions. The needle, if the Intact is bringing like a sacrifice or somebody that the progenitor is going to work on, the Intact brings that individual in, and then the needle would be the one helping kind of prepare these bodies for whatever things the progenitor is going to do. And because they're in such close proximity to the progenitor, they are going to be learning from the progenitor, learning how to do different types of precision cuts, how to use different types of surgical tools. And so the progenitors see these elves' love of flesh manipulation, and so they gift the needle body modifications to help them be better at their jobs. Kind of the big one here, even looking at all of the artwork, is going to be extra limbs. So they are described as having a passion for body modification. They move throughout the battlefields, patching up their progenitor's creations, and of course the progenitor, if the unfortunate event were to happen where the progenitor gets hurt. They don't differentiate between the disciplines of living or dead flesh, making them extremely helpful for any of the progenitor's familial sects that the scions have, because they will stitch up anything, pretty much from your intacts or anointed to husks and harvesters. So why is the needle cool? Well, one, I love that they are functionally creepy little faceless doctors. I definitely see these guys as kind of like your video game support characters. If you're thinking of any kind of boss fight in a video game, think of your progenitor as the boss. I see these guys as kind of the little supports running around, helping the progenitor do what they need to do. And if you don't take out the needle, if it's like a video game, if you don't kill those needles, get them out of the game, they're going to just keep buffing and helping the progenitor. So that's kind of how I see them, as like these little kind of annoyance guys that are also incredibly powerful in what they do, which is buffing and supporting the rest of the faction. I love that they have those extra limbs, and I think if we think narratively, which is what Warcrow is, if you think of those arms like on the battlefield, I just see them kind of doing like these really quick kind of creepy scuttles across the battlefield, kind of scampering from cadaver to body to wounded individual, taking limbs from enemies, stitching those limbs back onto allies, just a whole bunch of kind of crazy stuff. And while they are functionally doing something quote-unquote nice for their faction, their aesthetic is quite creepy. We have one sculpt of them which is holding a candle, which is very eerie. And then I think it's the Warcrow Adventures one. The other sculpt, which is very similar, is holding like a full piece of like thread with a needle, curved needle on it. And so these guys are just, once again, kind of like these weird, creepy little faceless doctors. And with that, this lore video about the needle comes to an end. Don't forget to follow this channel to get more Warcrow lore. And if you survive the fog, I'll see you in the next video.